Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gifted Podcast. I don't know what number it is. Didn't check. Probably should have before I started. But we got two special guests here today. We got James Hennecke and Matt Phillips. How you doing, boys?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, mate. How you, James?
Not too bad, not too bad.
So obviously we've got two gridiron superstars here today. Obviously gridiron's not a very popular sport by any means. Not a lot of people here play it and stuff like that. So I was just curious. How did you guys find the sport, and how did you really come to joining a team?
Oh, funny, my mum actually found the flyer on Facebook.
Yeah, okay.
And I was watching like NFL and college football at the time, and I was really interested. Then I went to a couple trainings. Started out on O-line, snapping the ball. I'm like, yeah, this is not for me. So moved positions and loved it ever since.
I mean, I started a year before Matt did. I got into it I found one of the signs on the side of the road for the Glads.
Yeah, right.
And I just turned up and then started playing and then just found the group and stuck to the group, you know?
Yeah, sweet. Did we start the same year? Did we start the same
I
year?
think maybe.
I'm pretty sure you
I
guys
think we
yeah.
did start the same year.
Because that was our the first Wolves year and the junior.
When we got smacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we got
And I'm
smacked.
pretty sure my first training was a week before the game.
Really?
The same week
Yeah.
as the game.
Yeah, I'm
But
pretty sure.
I started really late.
I remember I was a real raw. I just it was just quick. That's all I could do.
That's about it.
Well, obviously you both started at Glads and stuff like that. Well, we all started at Glads all together, really. So, just talk about the experience at the Glads and stuff like that, because obviously you guys aren't with Glads anymore. Just talk about the experience with Glads and how did you find the team and the culture around there?
Me personally, I love the culture at Glads and I love the people at Glads. Like there was a lot of people where I found there was a really good balance being serious in game time and trainings, but also like stuffing around with each other, having jokes,
Yeah.
like taking the mick out of each other.
Yeah.
But I think where I really lost a bit of love for the sport is when I'd be there and I'd try to be so committed and I'd be trying to get better. And then there was no one there who was sort of matching the energy. Like there was those couple of consistent people who were there, but there was only ever around 7 at trainings and stuff. And then I couldn't really develop myself, and I felt like a lot of the time I was doing a lot of coaching rather than training.
Yeah.
And that's something that I do want to do, and I do want to help people, but I don't want to risk myself with helping
obviously
others.
development and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
see, that's like the same. When I started, it was all about like coming together, family, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's a family team, you know, the Stossics, up to them for holding it together. And yeah, when I started, there was 7 or 8 people at training, and then when you guys came, it was consistent. It was us 3 and then like a couple others, and we'd get the work in, and then everyone would turn up on game day and expect to win. You know, that's why we didn't win very much. But as the team as a whole, it was a great community. Lots of athletes on that team, man. Lots of athletes.
Yeah.
Like they just got to put the work in at training to get onto it.
100%, yeah. Well, I agree, obviously. We're getting a bit better this year. I feel as though we've got getting some more consistent numbers, brought some people back and stuff like that. Obviously, not where we want to be at the moment, but just building towards the future, obviously. And speaking of the future, before I get into most things, I might ask you, what are some goals for next year, boys? Because is there anything on the table looking towards? Maybe college football next year? Is there anything?
Yeah, like I'm looking at the States. Like it's obviously a big commitment. I'm doing an apprenticeship at the moment as well, so I think it'll be pretty hard to leave that when I'm so far through.
Yeah.
But it's definitely something that I feel like I could do, and where I've been and how my game's grown, I definitely could adjust to that sort of college lifestyle. But I also I got a good family. I've got good people around me. Like it's hard to sort of pack up and leave.
Yeah, that's the same thing, hey? Like, you look at playing over in college or even over in Europe in the EFL, like, that's even a big change. But, like, packing up shop here and moving is big. But you got leagues around here, like, even going to Sydney. Like, I know a couple boys who drive up from Canberra or Goulburn to play in the Sydney leagues.
Yeah.
That's still a big change. But 100% goals going to college, or even if I can't go to college anymore, then go to the EFL, you know, play overseas, get paid to play. That's the whole goal.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah, obviously. Same year. Colleges, hit me up. Nah. Is there any out there? Come on. But before we get into like future goals and stuff like that, I thought I'd ask you about the transition to the new teams, obviously, because you guys aren't with Gladiators, as we said before, anymore. James, you moved to Saints this year.
Yep.
Matty, you moved to Wolves year prior.
Yeah.
Maybe just talk about the transitions and what's some of the best things you've learnt from going to those new teams, and how do you think your development's got better by moving to a new team?
Well, when I moved, like it was a bit of a hard thing, and it felt very awkward, and I felt very out of place. I think it's because Wolves and Glad sort of always had that little bit of rivalry, so I was sort of going to the enemy. And I feel like I adjusted pretty well, but it took some time to figure out who I wanted to be on that team. Like at Glads, I was always sort of the younger person who was coming up and like was getting better and better, but I wasn't really a leader. And I wasn't really sure if I wanted to be a leader at Wolves or I just wanted to do my own thing and focus on my game. But overall, I think I've sort of started focusing on me for the last couple of years and what I can do. I feel like that's given a positive effect on my game.
Well, obviously, yeah, I moved this year. Last year I didn't play. I was injured last year. But I think a big factor to moving was just a new environment, you know, experimenting with different things. There's 4 teams in Canberra now, about to be 5 next year with Goulburn coming in. So I guess just experiencing different coaching styles and different play styles with different people, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously going to Sense was a decision that isn't very fond of with some of the boys at the Glads at the moment, but I didn't want to take it as a downside. It's just a change of lifestyle, change on the road, you know.
Makes it more fun too, a bit more competitive.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Play against the boys now.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I'll ask you, like, because obviously you've played Glads once now, and you've played us a couple of times. Like, what was it like versus like your old team and stuff like that? Was there any like I don't know, a bit talking out there? Was there any competitiveness out there? Is there any like, is there a moment for you like where you're like, oh, that's a good moment from versing your old team and stuff
No,
like that?
I do remember like the very first time I versed Glads again. My mum in the stand, she did not want me to play.
Yeah.
She thought I was going to get hit dodgy and dirty, but nothing happened like that. But I definitely did cop a couple late hits.
Yeah.
So I think John Tolch, there was one I had a motion,
Yeah, I
and
remember
the
that
play
one.
was there and bang,
Yeah,
straight on my
yeah.
back.
Yeah,
But
there you go.
all in part of the game. I can't complain about it. And every time, I remember Kane Emery still tells me to this day, every time there's a jet sweep, he's like, run it to my side, stop running away from me. I'm going to hit ya. Same as Luke
I
Hall.
would not run at Kane Emery.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I'm on this team. So
Yeah, it's scary, man.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
hard.
it wasn't too bad when I played you guys a couple weeks back.
yeah,
Like I got a couple hits from the boys, but I guess every time, I got apologized to when I got hit big.
yeah.
Like they were
yeah,
like,
okay.
"Oh, I'm sorry." Like when I got face masked, they're like, "Sorry." I'm
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's fine. It's just a game, man." But
Yeah.
playing against you guys, yeah, it's always gonna be that chitter chatter going back and forth. Now
Between me and you, actually,
Yeah.
there was a bit going on. I was jawing at him a bit.
you guys.
We were going at it actually that
Yeah.
game. Yeah, we were chatting back and forth.
Well, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah,
I tried. I remember I tried to get you on a real big blindside block.
Juniors last year. Owen, I love you, Owen. Thank you for that.
I
Save me.
I nearly cracked you. Owen Lewis.
How good's he? Love
He
Owen.
is good. It's so
It's-
consistent as well, and
Yeah.
like swapped codes really well.
Yeah.
Even for
Used
his
his strength.
this is his 3rd year playing now.
Yeah, he's not even come to train. He's just filling in. He doesn't
Yeah.
train or nothing. He just rocks up and just does his thing.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
gun of a player. Really good.
Yeah.
Really good player.
He's such a secure tackler.
Yeah, you also see he's back for tomorrow. Mikey Theo's in there now. He's back.
The linebacker.
Yeah.
He was
He's
doing
end now.
crazy-
He's playing end.
He was doing
And-
crazy punts the other day. I
Yeah,
saw
he was doing
one,
some
like,
good ones.
Oh, like 4 seconds air time.
And,
Something
and
ridiculous.
like I'll say this, like the improvement from last week, just like in the trainings from like the 2 weeks, crazy. Like
Yeah.
like even you see off his get off time, crazy speed. Now he's getting heaps better. He's getting back to form where he was last year.
Because I remember he came in three years ago as well when
Yeah.
Owen started. You brought all
Yeah,
the boys
yeah,
over. Still waiting to see Matchstick in a uniform.
That's what happened. I think.
But no, I remember when you brought him over. Yeah, he was just there to he was just laying big hits. He wasn't really getting on
Yeah.
it. But it's good to see that he's progressing now.
Yeah.
and he's actually coming towards the game a bit more.
Yeah, it's good to see. It's just bringing a big community to the sport and stuff like that. And I guess I'll just ask, like, not really a question, just like also a comment. Just maybe explain to like the people why gridiron's a good sport. You know what I mean? Because we're trying to promote the sport here, obviously in Australia and stuff like that. So maybe just like tell the people why, like maybe starting it's good, and just maybe talk about the community around it, and obviously the sport in general, because it's heaps of fun.
Yeah, I think I've fallen in love with it for a couple of reasons. I think one reason I really like it is that it's different. Like, there's not really a sport in Australia where you stop and sort of think about what you're doing. Like, it is really a game of chess.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much aspects to it and so many little things that makes offense or a defense come as a whole. Like, one little part's out of whack and then it can't come together.
Yeah.
I think with that, you get a real sense of community with everyone else. Like, everyone's working and everyone knows they're just a part, like a cog of a big machine. And yeah, I think that's also why I love it. Like, good community, we all get around each other, but take it serious when it needs to be serious.
Yeah.
And then it's like league where you can sort of pick on each other and have that
Yeah.
fun banter,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
it's still positive between all the boys.
Yeah.
See, that's what I think's so good about it as well. As having kind of a small league in the ACT, everyone knows each other. So it's just always good to, when you're on the field, you're always just bickering back and forth, but it's always just love towards each other.
Yeah.
I guess it's just, as Maddie said, it's a slow game. Like, you slow down, you stop and think what you want to do and like what you just did, what you did wrong and how to fix it. I guess that's what I love, like in rugby, because I play union as well. It's so just speed and continuous and constant hitting. Like, it's good to slow down, take a breath, know what you're going to do next,
It's a
think
thinking
about
sport.
it.
You got to think a lot more
Yeah.
than you'd
It's
realise.
high IQ.
Yeah, 100%. I'll also I'll bring up about the competition this year, because the league feels a lot more tight this year in competition wise. Because usually on top of the table it's Wolves and Saints, obviously, but we're building up a bit better. We're starting to get a bit more competitive games in with you guys and stuff like that. Obviously, UC's building. They gave us a fight last week. Just talk about the league wise this year, and talk about the competitiveness and what's really stuck out to you guys this year. What's different about the league this year?
I think you're definitely right. There was a bit of a disparity between the teams, but I think this year, like, if you're not on your game, you're going to lose to anyone.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty tight. Like, obviously, UC first year in the comp,
Yeah.
they're building up. They're always going to be a bit of a weaker side, but the base is there. Like, they got a couple good players, they got some good coaches, and they will get there eventually.
Yeah.
And then Glads, I think Jesse Date's been an amazing
Yeah.
addition. Like, amazing mind, amazing person, and great at managing.
So
people.
good to have around.
Yeah.
I think you'd really if you guys are still around, I think you'd love it. Like, it's
Well, you see what happened when Matthew Marshall came in to coach the Glads.
Yeah.
How much more experience and how much I'd say better we all got as people, as men, as players.
that's when we won our
And
first
now-
game, wasn't it?
Yeah,
When he came
with Matty
in, yeah.
Marshall. And now that he's gone over to UC, right? He's gone to rebuild the program now,
Yeah.
so it's going to be really good to see how they come up.
Yeah.
But let's just go back to you guys nearly choking against the Glads, hey?
Oh,
Hey,
Couple of weeks
we
ago.
nearly choked, but I think his quarterback change helped him or something. Like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't say one. I understand with, like, it's if you don't come in your A game from the start, you're going to get smacked.
Yeah,
You saw
exactly.
that
Yeah.
from me last week. From the Sense last week, we got smacked up by the Wolves.
Yeah.
So we didn't come in on our A game. Everyone was out of position, and we just got smacked up. But
I'm excited for this game tomorrow. I think it'll be a really good game, actually. Hopefully we'll get a
Glad
bit of
Sense.
fight.
We'll
Yeah,
see
mate.
what happens there.
Come
See
away
what
with the W.
happens.
Don't-
Yeah.
don't-
You guys, I'm proud of you guys. You guys are doing well this year,
Yeah.
keeping up to your standards. Like, close game against the Wolves. That came down to the wire.
Yeah.
I was standing on the sideline with some of the boys, and it came down to the wire. And even with us, the first half, you guys put up a real fight.
Yeah, I think we had an opportunity. We probably should have won the game. To be fair,
definitely.
with a couple of crucial mistakes. Not, I love you, Jesse, but the
Yeah.
interception.
That pick six, no ball.
And I'm saying,
it's such a good
all I'm saying
read.
is I didn't get thrown the ball enough. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, no, it's really good to see. Like even with losses like that, you take a lot out of it. Like you can see the improvement and stuff like that. Especially like the amount of low numbers we have, and that's the same with you guys. You guys are struggling. So are you guys. Everyone's sort of struggling for numbers because it's a lot more competitive this year. The league, like a lot of injuries more happening and stuff like that. So it's good to see. Like there's a more competitive aspect of the league. Speaking of that, you guys are both having really good seasons this year. I'd say. I think leading touchdown.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
I'm not far off you. I'm coming for you. Nah.
How many do you have?
I think I got 6, 7. I got
Yeah.
7. You got 8?
I got 8, 9.
Yeah.
I think 8.
Yeah.
Oh, I hold the highest for the Sense,
Hey, happy for you.
which is just 3.
No, but both of you guys are having a really good season. Like a few position changes. You've never been a receiver before. So
No, I'm receiving now.
yeah, so even having 3 touchdowns as a receiver, that's really good for like a position you never played before. Just talk to what's your goals for the like whole rest of the year, and talk about the team goals. Like what do you guys want to build towards for your team and just yourself wise?
Obviously, the Capital Bowl, winning that Capital Bowl would be the main part. But as a transitioning to receiver this year, just continuing my game, working on the skills, I feel like having a position change every year isn't the best, but like it's good to experience different spots, especially coming from playing quarterback. I understand how to read a defense, how to run against the defense.
Yeah.
So it's good to come into receiver and be like, I can do this against this defense, this coverage,
Yeah.
and it will work as well as that.
Yeah, like I'm feeling a lot more comfortable as well out there. Like me personally, I want to set a good benchmark so I can leave.
Yeah.
Like I think at the moment I'm having a good season, but obviously because that's the coaching and the team that's behind me.
Yeah.
As well. Like I might be having good personal success, but it's the whole team that's making me look good.
Yeah,
pretty much.
that's what gridiron is. It's not a
Yeah.
solo sport. Hey, it's about everyone.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
feel like our team goals, obviously we want to win, but I think we're really focusing on the little things.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's some gaps in our game, in our scheme, and things we need to get better. But I feel like there's a really positive environment that we all can improve.
I guess every team is working on becoming more together as well because
Yeah.
heaps
Yeah.
of new people are coming in.
That's right.
I know us at the Sense, we've got 4 or 5 new people. I can say the same for you guys.
yeah.
You guys definitely
Yeah,
do too.
100%.
So like even UC, it's just all about building a community and building a team
It's
coming
the
together.
chemistry type
Exactly.
aspects.
Yeah,
That's
chemistry.
I think it's a game where you can really get hit from all angles. So sometimes you get
Yeah.
those awkward injuries even if you weren't really in the play. So
That's
you
right.
get a pretty high turnover, I'd say.
Well, I mean, everyone's getting hit all at once.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you're not
that's
really,
right.
if you're on the field, you're not really safe. You're going to get hit no matter what.
Yeah.
Hey?
Yeah, I'm getting destroyed this year. I've got that many injuries.
Mm.
Yeah. But nah, it's all for the love of the game, obviously.
Exactly.
But yeah, I guess I'll butt in and say, like, obviously, because he got the point of view of the Sense and the Wolves, I guess I'll butt in and say Glads. For us, I think we're really I think it's just building the environment where we can have trust for each other too. Like, because obviously getting the people to trainings and stuff like that was a big issue, like years prior. Like, and you obviously you can't trust everyone when you're not there. Like, I think probably like when you guys are there, we probably had at least 13 of our 22 starters who didn't rock up to training. It makes it really hard to like win games. Obviously, we tried our best, but it wasn't the greatest. But this year we're getting a bit more numbers and stuff like that, so it's becoming a bit easier to like get that stuff down. But injuries are really like hurting us right now. So just getting into the groove of things again and getting new players into different positions and like giving them faith and belief that they can do it is a big thing as well. So obviously we've had a few quarterback changes and stuff this year. So
I mean, that's what I've always liked about the Glads is that they've always believed in everyone in every
Yeah.
position. You know, you come in, you're a new kid, and you come into the game, you play a position you never played before. They'll chuck you in there until they feel like you're good at it, and then they'll keep playing you there.
yeah, 100%.
They'll coach you up. Great coaches over at the Glads, as you guys said. Jesse Date coming over from the Sense.
Big. That's big.
We've all 3 of us have played under him at Monarchs, so
Yeah.
he's a really good coach, really experienced.
Yeah.
And keen to see where you guys keep going.
Yeah, I think like personally having Jesse there has like really elevated my game a lot more. Like, because just learning little things of like even just having like my mentality aspect. Because like before, like, and I still am a bit now, like a bit hot headed on the field and stuff like that. Like to get into a bit of niggles and
I
stuff
think
like
we
that.
all are.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I almost got in a fight against these guys the other week. But you know, it's part of the game. Like when you're out there and stuff like that, just learning the little stuff and getting better each day, like little things. And Jesse really pulls you up on those things, which is good to see. Like I think coaches before, like obviously because they don't want to hurt your feelings, like they won't pull you up on stuff like that. But having him there is really really pulled us into line, like which is really good to see. Yeah, so just building towards it, and hopefully we can get into a Cup Bowl this year. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Yeah,
look, no doubt, I believe in you guys to 100% get there. Like you guys are one of the top contenders for it. As I said, that top 3, that's real tight this year.
Yeah,
There's not
100%.
much in it. Not much in it.
Yeah, agreed. So we'll get into some rep teams you guys have played in. So obviously there's Monarchs and stuff like that. So we'll start with that before we get to the big one. Obviously, you guys are killing it. So we'll talk about Monarchs and stuff like that. I was part of the Monarchs program too. We went to Wollongong and
Yeah.
Did you guys go up to when you versus Queensland and stuff like that? Did you guys do that?
Queensland we were overseas when that happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think we went to Queensland because we weren't allowed to play. with
Yeah,
the
We
Australian
got
stuff.
we got cut off like 3-4 weeks before we had to leave.
Yeah, but
so
I'm
no.
pretty, we both went to Wollongong.
Yeah.
We played Wollongong last year. I played Victoria this year. You didn't? No, I played Vic this year. And then all 3 of us as well. We did juniors. We
Yeah,
played in
I
South
was going to say
Australia.
we should probably start with the juniors, obviously.
We won that
'cause
game in
aspect-
South Australia.
Yeah, what a game, but that was a mad game.
That was
That's
great.
probably one of the funnest games I've had.
I still
to be honest.
get video highlights from it. You know,
Yeah.
it's the memories pop up on Snapchat.
Yeah, I still get the memory of
Like-
us taking photos and stuff after the game.
in the airport,
Yeah,
on the field, all of us. Yeah,
we had fun. It was a mad
that was
team.
great.
It was a great team.
Great trip.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we'll start with that game, obviously. You were playing quarterback back then, obviously.
Yeah, I was the QB.
Me and you receivers.
Yeah.
Just talk about that game and, like, because obviously you got injured.
Yeah,
I got injured too.
I got concussed.
Yeah.
So I got knocked out, and then
So the game wasn't
Came
very
off.
long for you.
no, I played about a quarter and a half, and then got knocked out.
Yeah.
Off a shitty tackle, he grabbed my legs, and some other guy ripped my helmet and hit me in the head.
Yeah.
On neck first in the ground, obviously. But I think after that play, I didn't even realize I knocked out for a second, woke up, and I got straight back up. And I think the next play I threw that as he described it, that ball to Matt Phillips, and then he got face masks, but they didn't give a crap.
Yeah, you threw a bomb to me too, and I dropped
Yeah,
it.
I think
Oh,
it was a good game, but credit to all the boys, credit to you boys for coming out, and even you playing on injury as well, because
Yeah.
I know you injured your ankle in the first play.
first play of the game, kick off, tore nearly every single ligament in my right ankle, so that was fun, obviously. But got back out there, got a touchdown, so that was a good feeling. Matty, talk about the game for you. You got a 2-point conversion.
I
didn't
did
ya?
get a 2-point conversion.
You celebrated like it was the fucking Super Bowl win, though.
I thought I was pretty humble, but all right.
No,
I saw you went up, you just spiked the ball down, just let's go.
It was a pretty nice catch actually, but
Actually
like,
was.
it was a pretty quiet game for me. Like, I think I've always sort of been a possession receiver.
Yeah.
I'm not really like a big make people miss like you are, Damon.
Yeah.
I'm like get the ball in the spot, go down, or like try break a tackle rather than step.
If
around.
we're looking to march down the field, Phillips
Yeah.
is the guy. If we're looking to step people and get in the end zone, then you're the guy
What
for
did we
that.
used to say back in the day? You were the T. Higgins and I was
T.
Jamar.
Higgins, Jamar Chase,
Yeah.
yeah.
Burrow.
I still say that.
There we go. Yeah,
Burrow,
that was
T,
us.
Jamar, that was
Yeah.
us. Nah. So yeah, move on. We'll go on to Wollongong. Obviously, we didn't get a lot of minutes. All of us.
I don't think. Well, we were the young guys in the team. Hey?
Yeah.
That was, we were the youngest in the team. Like me and Phillips were in the young room because I wasn't even 18. You just turned 18.
Yeah.
You weren't staying with us.
got my
on
own
camp.
hotel.
Yeah.
Little lavish.
I got one snap. That was the kneel. The kneel at the
Yeah.
end of the game. Didn't even win, but that's okay. I think you got a couple, didn't you?
You got a couple reps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of reps. I just came off an injury though. Like,
Yeah.
was training
The
really
knee,
well,
yeah.
felt confident, and I tore my meniscus.
Yeah.
So that was pretty hard for me, but I did go back in heavily strapped. I was feeling slow, feeling sluggish, but yeah, I didn't get many touches. Got a jet sweep that I got blown up on.
Yeah.
That's about all I had.
I mean,
for
I think
Wollongong.
that's it because we're like the young guys. I don't think they have much trust in us yet.
Yeah,
Like
I
the
don't
others
think,
have-
I don't
have
think
been
we
playing.
really developed ourselves as senior players.
Yeah,
We're still-
nah, not
we're
at
still
all.
getting viewed as juniors.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was my problem. I thought I was. I probably should have looked back and knew I wasn't, but I was a bit filthy with it. But what can you
Yeah,
do?
well, because at like trainings we were feeling. I guess I felt like
Because we were
the
getting a lot of
exact
reps.
same.
We were getting a lot of reps
At training, I
and
felt
stuff
like
that.
I was doing so good and I was part of it, but I guess not.
Nah.
That happens.
But I think it's all in a learning aspect too. Like because we got to give those guys time too. Because like obviously I'm not going to say they're on their way out, but they're a lot older than us
had
and
more
stuff like that.
experience.
That's right. So
And
we got a lot of time got a lot of time ahead of us. So I guess it's good to learn from those guys who've been in the game for a while too, in a way.
Definitely.
So yeah, no, it's really good. So we'll move on to the big one. You boys. Bit awkward for me. I'll start with you guys made the Australia team, obviously.
Yeah.
We'll start with the trials aspect where we all go to Sydney and stuff like that, do trials and stuff like that. How was that for you guys? Like, how was the experience of that?
I was stressed. I was stressed. I remember the day before.
Yeah,
We actually
We
shared a
drove up.
hotel together, and we sort of like got each other around the playbook.
yeah.
But I
think we
remember
spent,
going
what,
to that
4 hours that
yeah,
night,
4
just
hours.
reading the playbook to each other. We went out to the supermarket to get food. We'd have like our notes with us, and we'd just be reading. It was stressful.
Yeah. Like I think definitely at the trials as well. Like I actually think I trialed very well,
Yeah.
which was lucky. Like I feel like I was really competing out there.
And obviously
I
it
th-
paid
I think-
off though.
Yeah, I think I only dropped one ball that whole day.
Yeah.
That was
so
really good.
I think I really played well. Yeah, but stressed. I remember just every aspect. I was thinking, someone's watching me. It's getting filmed. I have to be perfect.
I think everyone felt that way. There's like so much
Yeah.
like it wasn't a fun energy around, was it? It was like so like
It's intense. It's
Yeah.
really competitive there, especially with all the coaches being there at once, all the OC, DC, head coach being there at once. It was, and all the cameras on you. It was intense.
one thing I remember from it was the bloody field. Like
Oh.
that was the worst thing I've ever played
Dreadful
on. It was
field.
terrible.
It's just a
Yeah.
clay patch. Hey?
Yeah.
I just remember I was having ethical dilemmas the whole time. Like people would ask me questions, and I'd just be thinking in my head, "Do I really want to tell them and risk them being better and being
Yeah.
chosen?" Like,
Yeah, it's
I
right.
was that stressed and stuff I was so confident about. I was second guessing, like stuff I knew.
And
was
that's
right.
that's not like you either. Like
Yeah.
you're pretty like calculated with that stuff. Like you're always like on the point with it.
Yeah, that was
so,
about it.
so yeah, that's how you know it was stressful.
Yeah, well,
No.
it was really good. I mean, you got picked for your main spot
Yeah.
at receiver.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you.
Yeah,
like,
so I started out. I was in at QB for the first day, so obviously I had to learn both offense and defense playbooks overnight. So I was in on the first day. I felt I did pretty well, but obviously the guys didn't. I just had the coach come up to me and say, "We like what you're doing. We want you to come over to defense and see how you go." I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." So they chucked me up at corner, and I guess I'm just tall, so I think that's just what they wanted. But tall, and because I could played QB, I guess I could read offense as well.
Yeah.
So I knew it was coming, and so they just put me there, and that's how I got picked, I guess.
I think you only had one catch on you all day. Was it?
Yeah.
Who caught that ball, sorry?
Matt Phillips. Yeah, Matt Phillips caught one catch all day.
You me too, a couple of times holding.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm still learning. What can I say?
DI merchant.
Oh, that's the sticky gloves for you. That's the sticky gloves. Nah, it was a crazy transition, but I loved every second of it. I wouldn't take it back.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'll talk about my experience. A bit awkward, but I don't know. I'm sort of just a guy that like just goes there. Like obviously, I'm not big on like I'm not like you guys. I'm just calculated and stuff like that. I'm just sort of like there with the moment, and then I'll do what I can when I'm out there. So I didn't really feel much nervous energy. I was just out there having fun, playing ball. Like that's how I sort of treat things. So I thought I did pretty good too. Like I didn't think I dropped a lot of balls.
Yeah,
like,
I'd say you did as well.
I got a couple deep gains and stuff like that. And like
I'd say the Sydney boys are passing quite well to you, quite comfortably.
Yeah,
I think it was definitely hard to get looks though.
Yeah, that's
Like
right.
I feel like
There's so many people there at your position. Like I know for quarterback there were six QBs there. I know the receiver there were over 10.
I think there was nearly like
There's a lot of
20.
receivers.
There was like 20 receivers.
Yeah,
or something like that.
There was so many
but even
receivers.
so, I don't know if I sound biased, but I think me and you were really like standing out a lot more
Yeah.
during those
Well,
trials.
you guys, when I was in a queue, it was either you that were my main targets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because we have obviously because we've all played together, we have the connection.
yeah,
Yeah.
So it's just the easiest point for us.
yeah. But like sometimes I think back at it, and I almost feel like if I did it now, I'd be a lot better because I've learnt like this season off. I've learnt way more because I feel like even like for the last couple of years, I've been a bit more raw. Like I haven't really learnt much about the game.
Yeah.
But this season, I've really like taken it in, like sat down because obviously after I didn't make the team, unfortunately, but after I sat down, like I had a big break from it. I didn't want to even look at a football for like I didn't touch one for like 3 to 4 months. After that, I was pretty filthy with the whole thing. But after that, I really like it gave me time to realize I really like love the game. So it gave me time to come back, recalculate, and like really lock in. To be honest, so that's what I've been doing, like working hard to get better at myself and stuff like that. Obviously, I didn't get the result of making the team, but I think I learnt a lot from the experience, which is awesome.
It's good to get those major big coaches of Australia, especially like all the top coaches come down and critique you, especially.
Yeah.
Like I know for me, having Mitch Wolner, the defensive coordinator, the new head coach, having critiqued me, it was crazy. And Joey from Melbourne, the cornerback coach, DB coach, it was just having that specialist coach of your position talk to you was crazy. I can't speak for you guys because your coach didn't come up.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
He got stitched up like he had to go to work, which is life's life.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that.
life's
But
life.
I think that we had a lot of experienced receivers.
Yeah.
Like 2 of them who are actually in the US at the moment and have been through that system for a while. So I feel like we were feeding off each other's energy.
Yeah.
Especially the 4 starting receivers, like including myself,
Ben Heath.
Jay, and Mason.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we were really like interlinked with each other.
Yeah.
Like we were talking to each other. We knew what each other was going to do, and like without a week, I feel like our chemistry
in the
was
week
pretty
training
insane.
we had leading up to it, that was crazy because like we'd have trainings leading up to it, but it would be like me and Phillips would go up from ACT, and it would be New South Wales ACT boys training.
Yeah.
Everyone else would do their own thing, but that week leading up was the big connection that we all got, especially staying together, doing everything together.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But can we just think about those numbers? There was like over 10,000 people who tried out for that team.
Oh, I don't think it was
10,000?
I
No.
don't think it was 10,000.
What are we saying?
No, I think it was like 2,000.
Oh, okay, 2,000.
But still, that's impressive.
Yeah.
to
There's
that team.
45 on that team.
Yeah, that's it's impressive.
I
really
think
impressive.
like especially for me, it was nice to know like we only had 6 receivers.
Yeah.
There was 8 of us.
Yeah.
8 DBs. That was it. We'll talk about the 2,000 people that tried out for that, and only
2,000.
45 made the team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, look, sort of cut off there. That's all right. We're back. So yeah, we'll talk about. So yeah, I think for me, like finding out there's only 6 receivers that made the team, like that made me feel a lot better because I don't think I would have been far off making that. So just for me, it was a good learning curve and
No
stuff
tight
like that.
ends.
Yeah, no
we, had
tight
to, we
ends.
had to put a D end at tight end.
Mate, I would have gone there. Nah, I'm not big enough for that.
I
So
reckon you guys should have put Ben there.
Ben Heath. Nah, too small. Can't block.
I-
Can block.
Did
but
you
he's
see?
a
He put
receiver.
me on my ass.
Yeah, well, that's not hard, is it?
I reckon you'd be a serviceable tight end. Serviceable.
Yeah, I need to put some weight on him.
Yeah.
Just a bit
Well, I mean, you
short,
put the
but-
Tassie boys on their ass.
Yeah, that doesn't count. But
That's true.
Nah, so obviously everyone sort of has that moment where you make not for me, unfortunately, but you made the team. What was the reaction like? And I might ask you, who was the first person you told, and what was that like for you guys?
I think it was pretty stressful because like people got picked in different rounds. I think
Yeah, because we got picked in the first round.
yeah
Because
Yeah.
we got picked when the tryouts were still happening.
Yeah.
I think we got picked like 2 days after the tryout, 2 or 3 days after.
I think we got so there was sort of like a short list, and then you got picked off the short
Yeah,
list.
so we got on the short list two days
Yeah,
after.
and then we got picked in the first round. So it was like really stressful, and knowing that there's a lot of talent in other states, like I felt a real disadvantage with New South Wales.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the other states got a lot of preparation. They got to see the
Yeah.
playbook.
Because
for longer.
there's just so many connections with players in different states. Like I know I knew some boys from Vic, and obviously we knew some boys from Adelaide, and WA, and I feel like that other boys know that too, and they can send out the playbook so they have more study time as well.
Yeah.
I being the first camp, it was a real disadvantage, but it was super stressful because we got on the short list, and then you look through all the posts of all the other teams posting all their short list players, and
That's
UTS had about 8. I know that for a fact. And only 2 boys.
And I feel like what was even more stressful is seeing people's names and not knowing who they were.
Exactly.
Like every time I think I saw someone's name, I tried to look up who they were and what position they was because
Yeah.
I was that like scared about. Fuck, I'm really.
But
not
even
gonna make this
those
team.
even those full team meetings with the shortlist boys as well.
Yeah.
Because before everyone got selected, we'd have meetings every week on Zoom with all the shortlist boys and everyone, and just seeing you're watching in your positional groups, looking at everyone there. You're like, how many of these boys have been picked already? It was lucky enough that me and Matt got picked in the first round, so we had that relieve a little bit. But it's still the stress that some of the boys that you trained with up in Sydney aren't going to be there.
Yeah. So I was in the shortlisted team, I think. Like, I started off in there, but that's what I mean. Like, I think I was pestering you guys
Yeah, you got in
all
the
day.
shortlist.
I was pestering you guys all day because I found out you made it. I was just messaging you. You found anything about me?
I think
or-
you were the first person I told.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure because I got it straight away, and I got a text from the manager about it, Courtney, and then I messaged you straight away, and I messaged you straight
Yeah,
away
yeah.
saying, "Have you boys
Yeah.
made it?" And then I think I messaged, Marshall,
Yeah.
all the boys from the teams and everything.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure you were the first one I messaged.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think I got stressed out because Hennecke was like, "Oh, did you get a message?" I'm like, "No, I haven't."
Yeah.
Because I didn't reload my email and all this shit. I'm like, I
Yeah.
honestly just felt dead. Like,
Because, for me, I was at work, so I was just like scrolling on my phone and stuff like that. I'm not meant to be on my phone at work, so I'm
Yeah.
with the kids, obviously, because I'm working at high school. And I'm just scrolling on my phone. Like, I got one of my best mates works, so he's like, "Bro, get off your phone. I'm like, "Bro, I can't." So I was looking up and down, and I didn't make it. But that's okay. We move. But yeah, so I'll just talk about the lead up to it, like the trainings and stuff like that. And maybe I'll ask about the week before. What was the anticipation like? Because obviously it's a whole different country you guys are going to. You went to Canada to compete. Was there nerves? Was there like a whole, like, I mean, was there excitement?
The whole meeting the team that first night in Sydney, because me and Matt got there really late because our bus got delayed from the airport, or our shuttle got delayed from the airport to our hotel. So we got there and it was only the head coach, OC, and the manager and the equipment manager outside waiting for us. So I guess just getting in the room at 5:30 in the morning the next day and seeing everyone else there, being like, this is the team that we're going to go with now.
Yeah.
It wasn't really nerves. It was just anxiousness about and awkwardness about in talking to people, especially on the plane because we were sitting with brand new kids. Like I had South Australia and Queensland next to me. I had Chaz and Hunter, and I was like, I don't know who these guys are.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you have.
I had Brewster, so
Oh,
our
the
offensive
coach.
coordinator, who me and him actually get along really well. And then I had
Yeah.
another receiver, Mason, and I think
Yeah. Oh, you're in the middle.
Yeah.
Because I had Ty Henry on my other
Yeah.
side too.
Like-
But I guess it's just that. How long was it? 22 hours we spent
it
on a
was
plane.
long
Yeah.
flight.
I guess that's the time you just get to know each other and just talking to everyone on the plane, walking around. But that week leading up to our first game, that was probably the most stress I've ever been in, because you mess 1 point up and you're getting yelled at, you're getting scolded, and then the meetings every day, 2 trainings a day plus meetings plus recovery, it's a lot.
Yeah. Nah. I guess we'll get into the games. So you guys versed Puerto Rico,
Japan, Panama, and Canada too.
Yeah, Panama. Sorry, that's the one. So talk about the games and stuff like that. You got to win against what was it?
Panama.
Got to win against Panama. Talk about like obviously that first game that would have been like pretty in your face, intense. You know what I mean? Like 'cause you're on the big stage now. So talk about
Definitely lots of nerves.
Yeah.
Leading up to that game, the coaches were giving us some hype about it, saying that this could be like, this is one of the best Australian teams they've seen, and that this is our chance to beat Japan, because last time we lost to Japan. And I think we underestimated them a little, because I think we came out, I know our first play on defense, we got a pick. So we came out really, really hype. Credit to Xavier, the other corner. He had a massive pick. It was huge. And I think we came out with just guns firing, so confident. And then you guys couldn't get the ball rolling.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I'd say getting a really good, consistent offense at that level is hard.
It's hard.
And I think we were struggling because we were a really pass-heavy team, or tried to be a pass-heavy team, and some things just weren't clicking.
Yeah,
like the QB was getting a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
They're just fast.
Yeah, and I think we definitely underestimated Japan. Like, although they didn't have the physical size, like they were that disciplined and they were that fast. Like I remember I caught a slant over the middle, and I looked up and I'm like, oh, I got nearly 10 yards of space.
Yeah.
Like I can turn up and actually make a move here. Once I tucked the ball and looked up, like I got tackled.
I remember I got their first touchdown was scored. No, their second one was scored on me. They ran a go straight over my head, because we played cover 3 the whole time, so there's nothing meant to go past us deep.
Yeah.
But they're just so fast.
So quick.
I had barely any time to react, and he just caught it straight over my head for a tutty. At that point, I think we all were like, "Damn, we need to get our heads screwed on properly."
Yeah. So obviously that Japan game, did you verse Panama next, or was it Panama? So talk about the win. Obviously, it's good getting the win. Talk about maybe even like celebrations after. What was it like getting that win over a country? Basically, that's pretty big. So talk to me about what was that.
We hit the pool after, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
We hit the pool. I think that was the day we got let on the slides.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed on the slides at the pool, but I can't speak for offense, but defense, we were super excited, because they didn't score a single point on us.
Yeah.
We kept them to a shutout. And I'm so proud of the boys for it. Like, we did so well. They did towards the end. They were getting the ball rolling on us, but then Matt Hull came in with a crucial pick, and it was insane. It was down to the seconds before if Matt didn't get that pick, they would have scored, and we didn't want that. So I'm proud of the boys for keeping the shutout. I can't speak for offense, but defense were real good that game.
Well, I guess we got a bloke who can speak for offense. So.
Yeah, well, like it was good, but again, just the stress. Like Japan ended up coming second in the whole tournament.
Yeah.
So they were a very
beat the
good,
US. Can we just
team.
say?
Yeah, beat the US, which is crazy, and Panama was obviously one of the lower ranking teams, but that's actually the second ever win in juniors Australia history.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Can we just say Panama are really good athletes too?
They are good athletes.
They are fast. They hit hard. Their linebacker, I can't remember his name. The number 0 played both sides of the ball, running back and linebacker. He was a weapon.
Yeah.
He won MVP for them that game, didn't he? Yeah. Weapon.
Yeah. Well, obviously versus Canada as well. After that, didn't come out with a win. But that Canada was really good that tournament. So
good.
There were 2 Canada teams.
And both of them were good.
Both of them are really good. Canada
one
came
of them came out. With
Canada
the win,
won first.
Yeah.
The first team won.
So I think there was a French-speaking and then an English-speaking team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure the English-speaking team ended up winning, but the French team was not far behind. They just had a really tough draw. Like I'm pretty sure they played like the second ranking, and
Austria,
then the 4th, and then us.
No, they played Austria, then Brazil.
No, they wouldn't play.
Brazil?
I'm not sure.
Brazil are good, though, weren't they? They're a good team. Brazil.
They came last.
They tried.
They did
I thought
really
they were a
well.
good
Credit
team.
to Brazil. They were there to have fun.
Yeah.
We loved every second I hung out.
They
with
got
them.
102
102 nil, 102 6, 102.
Right.
No, that was Oh yeah, by Canada.
Yeah.
Can I just ask, what was the anticipation like waiting until you draw? Like to say you go to USA or something, obviously that didn't turn out to be as good
We
as...
knew our first game straight away. After I got picked, they told me.
Yeah,
So I
I
knew it
think-
was Japan, and then they said we'll play either USA or Panama.
I feel like
That's
they
what
were building
said.
to Japan, but even when we were like doing the trials and stuff like that, they kept bringing up Japan.
Yeah.
So like,
Obviously we wouldn't know our third game because that all depends on the tournament, and our second game would have been anticipated already, because I think the coaches knew we weren't going to win against Japan.
Yeah,
So they knew it was, and they I think they thought it might have been a close game between Panama and the US, but obviously we knew we were going to play Japan first, like straight away after the tryouts.
yeah,
I think we were pretty much planning on winning the Panama game.
Yeah.
that was
Like,
the whole thing.
you had to win.
Yeah,
Like, that's how you saw
going
it.
into it, there was like, we can beat Japan. Like Japan, like we can do it. We're on this. This will be a good team, but we're a good team also. And I think a couple of coaches saw Japan train.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they came back, especially to the offense, and they said, I'm going to give you guys a reality check. I said, they won't be moving like this because they're not as professional athletes. Like, this won't
Yeah.
happen. It's going to be simpler looks. And the coach came in and said, look, they're going to be really good.
It's gonna be a struggle.
It's
But
gonna be a
they
struggle.
play a professional league over there.
Yeah, so I
They
think,
go to college. There's colleges in Japan that play American football.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That makes it hard.
I think there was 5 people on that team who weren't under like a professional athlete
Yeah.
contract
Yeah, okay.
in Japan.
There was so many of them who play baseball as well, like double ups.
Mm.
But no, I remember on the defensive meeting, we were lucky enough to have the head coach as our DC. He walked in and he said, "Boys, we're not gonna win against Japan, but we're gonna win against Panama, because if we don't, then that's just an embarrassment." Like we saw how they play, we saw how they train.
I love coaches
We're not-
like that, but like
Yeah,
just tell you straight
exactly.
up. I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about the head coach too. He was just straightforward with us, I reckon. Like, he knew what he wanted and he got what he wanted out of us.
Yeah.
He pushed us to some of the boys to the breaking point, because I know you got hurt
Yeah.
and still trained. I know a bunch of the DBs got hurt. There was like, I think it was me, Matt Hull, and Xavier were the only ones, and Harry were the only ones standing at the end.
Yeah.
I know half the boys got injured, so he pushed us to our breaking point, which was
Yeah.
really good. I love that about a coach.
Yeah. Well, after the Canada game, that was the end of you guys' tournament, was it? That was the end of you guys' tournament.
We left the next day.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll just ask you, what was the biggest learning, like not goal? Well, what's the biggest learning that you learnt from the experience, and what do you take into it now from like to build into your game?
I feel like for me as a receiver, running routes, I was always very like smooth person. I tried to be smooth. I tried to be calm, and I really learned that you can be calm and aggressive at the same time. Like, a lot of the time, I would like get hands off me slowly, but I'd get it like tough. But I was watching some of the other receivers; they're ripping their hands off while still being smooth.
Yeah.
And just like really the discipline and being aggressive into everything you do, and like really trying to win. And
Yeah.
another thing for me was, I think in that tournament I really got introduced to like self-talk, like on the line, like telling yourself in your head,
Coach was all
Yeah.
about self-talk.
like telling yourself like, this is my ball, I'm catching this ball, I'm winning this route, making this block. And I feel like that's something that I've also brought to Canberra that's really helped me, and it's sort of helped reset my head each time. Because I'm someone who's really hard on myself.
Yeah.
So when I make a lot of mistakes, I can feel myself going downhill and the quality of my game.
Yeah.
I feel like that self-talk stuff has sort of helped me keep accountable for my actions. And
Yeah.
like, really need to be on the ball.
Yeah, I'm sort of the same, the confidence booster, because coming into a game, I'm really confident. Like, because like if I got a corner in front of me, I'm like, I'm beating you. Like, I know I'm gonna beat you. But if I like lose some, I'm like, oh, that's when I start to drop a bit. So it's a really big lesson learning, and it's good to see that you guys learn a lot from the experience and take it into your games now. So, I'll talk about So we already talked about next year, really, what you guys want to do and stuff like that. So, obviously, I'll ask you, what's the big goal for you guys coming out of the sport? Are you sort of going to go into it having a bit more fun, or do you want to take a professional aspect, or do you want to? What's your big goal playing gridiron?
I mean, obviously, when we were in Canada, some of the boys got offers, and being one of the guys that didn't, I know that made me want to try even harder. So coming back here, I know it's not as fast paced as it is over there at that national level. But coming back here, I wanted to continue what I'd done off. Even though I changed positions, I wanted to keep working on it and helping people learn and working on myself about it. But next year, 100%, seeing what happens, whether I stay in the Canberra League next year or move to Sydney League or any of that, or if I'm lucky enough, go overseas to play. That'd be the whole goal. I guess anyone's goal when they start playing American football is straight to the NFL.
Yeah.
You know, I remember when I started, I was with Jermaine Stewart, who's on your team now.
Bro, he's actually playing Gunners right now. Is he
And
good?
we said to each other that first training, we said, this is us, we're going to make the NFL. Yet to happen, obviously, but we'll see what happens. You know,
Yeah.
I highly doubt that I'll make it as a receiver, but you never know what's going to happen.
Just work hard, mate.
World
That's all
does
you can do.
mysterious things to you.
I feel like as a reality check for me is that if I do get to college, after college, I'm being real with myself. I'm not making the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not making the XFL. I'm not making those two big leagues, but I feel like I could play. Feel like the next 3 to 4 years, if I don't go over in that time, then I'm going to really start taking a step back of playing as hard as I can and trying to beat everyone. And sort of going into teaching a bit and learning.
There's that certain point you get to, like, I know for me, I had that 2 years ago when I got injured. I had that point where I was like, can I keep playing this sport? Because I had both my shoulders had to be reconstructed. Yeah. So I definitely see where you're coming with that point. I sat there and I was like, am I going to be able to keep doing this? And I know I was pulled out of a bunch of programs then. And I was like, am I definitely going to be able to do this, or can I not?
Yeah.
And I guess that's a reality check as well. But there's always that fallback of coaching and teaching and running programs and having fun with kids that love the sport too.
Having fun with kids.
Hey, get your mind out of the gutter. Get your head out the gutter.
Hey, you said it.
No. Having fun with kids who love... did you hear me? I love the sport.
No,
I love the sport.
No, diddy. Nah, well, I think that's all we have time for today. We've done nearly 50 minutes, so it's a really good
Proud
podcast
of that.
session. So,
Yeah, man.
thank you boys for coming on. Obviously, wish you all the best for going in the future and the seasons and coming into college and stuff like that. And since we're beating you tomorrow, so
And you guys, it's going to be a good game. Can I just say it's going to be a good game?
it'll be a good game. Keen to see what happens.
Hey, chuck us in the vlog of the day as well tomorrow.
We'll do.
Get me and Phillips in there.
I think I just got something to say, like, as a thank you for letting us on a podcast. Me and Hennecke decided to give you a little memento for your podcast.
Oh,
Wear
thanks,
it,
guys.
hang it up, do whatever you want.
Nah, I don't
a little hat.
It would hurt my feelings.
No, you need it.
Yeah, it's
We've got more of them,
All
so
right. Thank you, boys.
we've
Appreciate
collectively.
it. Well, I guess we'll leave it there, right?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah,
We'll
there
leave
we
it in
go.
the Podcast. We'll leave that one there. Thank you, boys, for coming on, obviously. Big thank you. I know it was a bit of a struggle to get this guy on, but...
I mean, I'm only going on a Phillips going on nowadays, but no, I would have done it regardless.
Yeah, no.
I'm glad he came on in the
I'm
end.
glad I am too.
Yeah,
I feel
he's
this
did
was a good
He's did
chat.
good. So yeah, thank you, boys, for coming on again. Good luck in the season, and good luck coming second and third place to Glad.
Yeah.
Thank you. See you soon.